Hey everyone, Mr. Hancock here. This video is for my Comp 1 class. We're going to be starting Unit 2, the Song Analysis essay. And so I'm going to go over that for a minute, show you Unit 2, show you what it's going to kind of look like, what we're going to do, and pretty much go over the assignment sheet for you. So let's get to it here. Obviously, as you can see here, this is what it looks like on my side, not your side. So obviously when you click into the learning module, it's going to be a little bit different, but you'll still see the same stuff. So, course content here, and there it is. It will look like this, but it'll be highlighted. Unit 2 Song Lyric Analysis. And here we are. We have 8 weeks, as you can see. Right now, you should just see week 5 available. So, let's click into it. And again, for the learning module, you'll only get displayed one at a time. You have to click through them, okay? So, obviously, always follow the checklist, okay? I have a lot of students I'm getting, especially now in Unit 2, no matter how many times I say this in videos, maybe people aren't watching the videos or reading the instructions, but I'm getting a lot of folks asking questions or not understanding why certain things are happening, and it's mainly because they're not following the directions, not reading the instructions or what. So number one thing you need to do is to make sure you always follow the checklist. If something is different than the checklist than what you see here, let me know immediately, okay? Otherwise, follow the checklist, okay? Now, here we are, song analysis assignment sheet. Let's take a look at that first before we go any further with anything. And we'll discuss this. All right, here are your due dates. Again, you'll notice that you have a 4-week unit. So on the second week of the unit, you'll have the outline due. The third week of the unit will be the rough draft. And then finally, in the last week, the 4th week of that unit, your final draft, your revised draft is due. So here we are. This gives you your due dates. Sunday, the 4th is when your outline's due. Now we're going to be doing something different for rough drafts. I will still give you comments on your rough drafts, but you're also going to be working and doing peer reviews for each other. More on that in just a second, but you'll notice there are 2 due dates here. It's going to be your peer reviews pretty much will be posted in the discussion board just like you normally do a discussion post. So by Thursday is when you'll have to submit your paper or post your paper to the discussion board thread, and then you have to go in there and have comments for folks by Sunday. Then the revised draft is due on the 18th. So there you go. You have a month to get this done. All right, there are your requirements. Typical for the last paper, 750 word minimum. That means a minimum of 6 paragraphs. That's 4 in the body. You will be required to have MLA documentation with in-text citations and a works cited page. We'll work on that in this unit. So here is the assignment. You're going to study the lyrics of one song and analyze the message. Okay, it's also known as the theme. Now, I'm going to give a warning to everybody right now. You are not writing a paper over a music video. Okay, you're not writing a paper over the music. You're simply writing the paper over the lyrics, okay? So it's almost as if the lyrics themselves just appeared on the wall or appeared on a piece of paper from you, completely devoid of the author, the artist, background story, video, all that stuff. All we're going to be doing is focusing on the lyrics on a piece of paper. That's it, okay? So when you go out to find those lyrics this week, you need to make sure that you avoid YouTube. I just would do a simple, basic Google search for those lyrics and find a website like AZ Lyrics, Metro Lyrics, Lyrics Freak. There's a bunch of different lyrics websites out there. So whatever it is that you pick, make sure you get that and use those printed lyrics, okay? And then we'll talk about documenting and all that stuff later. But that's the one thing I want to clarify right now with everybody is that you are analyzing the lyrics, not the music video, just the lyrics, okay? This is basically an argumentative essay. I have videos that already go over this. You are going to tell your reader, it's like a conversation. You're trying to persuade your reader that this is the message of the song. Not that you personally believe that message. Not that you're trying to argue for that message. You're simply saying, hey, this is what the song is telling us. This is what the song is trying to show us, okay? And as if it's a conversation, your reader, is someone you're talking to, is going to say, man, you think that song is about that? I'm not sure I see that. Prove it to me. Show me where you saw that. So now the burden of proof is in your lap, and you've got to go in and show the reader with evidence from the lyrics where it says that and tells us that lesson, okay? So you're going in, you're looking for evidence, and you're going to present that evidence to the reader and explain and persuade how those quotes prove your point that this is the message of the song, okay? It's just like a conversation. You have to think about it like a conversation. The really fun thing about this is that under the surface, we're technically learning literary analysis. So it's whether it's song lyrics, poetry, short stories, anything like that. This is the type of writing that you do. But the fun part about it is that instead of me giving you an old, stuffy, boring poem that you have no idea about, you get to go out and find your own songs and treat those lyrics as poems. And so that's the really fun part here. I have a lot of people teach me about a lot of different stuff and songs I never knew existed. So it's really, really cool. All right, let's see here. Go on further here. Yeah, you will have MLA documentation, or else it will hurt your grade really bad. More on that later. All right, here's the big part. You must not write a summary of the song. And the way to approach this is understand right from the get-go that your reader already knows the song, okay? The reader actually already knows the lyrics. And they know the video, and they know the song and what the song's about on the surface level of a topic. But the reader needs to know what the song is trying to teach them. That's it. All right. What is it trying to teach them? So think about that. Not like, oh, well, I need to kind of give them an idea of what the song's talking about first. No, the reader already knows. The reader already knows what it's talking about. That's not your job. Your job is to persuade them that this is the message. Okay. There we go. And there's a little bit about the peer reviews and the rough drafts for you. You can take a look at that. More on that to come. But anyway, that's the assignment, everybody. And this is usually a really, really fun assignment. Here's some tips. Very common errors or problems that I have with students picking out songs. Some students will try to pick a song out because it'll be they'll avoid short songs, short lyrics. That's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. Just because something's long or short is not why you should pick or not pick a song. Because as you'll see, when we go forward into next week and talk about what we call the C method, which is how we are going to build our body paragraphs, you'll notice that it doesn't matter how long it is, because the length of that song lyric is not what's going to be building the content. So it really doesn't matter. But, just keep that in mind. Just because it's long, it doesn't mean it's good. Just because it's short, doesn't mean it's bad or good. So don't let that fool you. Another thing is this. I have a lot of students that go into this as a means of trying to impress someone or show someone how awesome certain music is. There are a lot of cool songs out there, okay? However, they may not be the material you want to focus this paper upon. For instance, I always say, look at Kool and the Gang's Celebration, that song Celebration. It's a great song. It's a classic song. However, think about what the lyrics say. There's a party going on here. Celebrate, good time. That's it. It just says the same thing over and over and over. So lyrically, there's not much going on. There's not enough for you to write a paper about. So you have to think in terms of that. Just because a song is awesome, just because a song sounds cool, or it is a good song, it may not be what you need lyrically. There might be a song that's just nothing about hanging out in the club. It's very shallow lyrically, and there might not be just enough to write about. So you really have to consider what's going on in the lyrics. Do I have enough to write this paper about, okay? Another thing is vulgarity in language. So there's many things that can fall in that category. The first is cussing, okay? So when it comes to cussing, first of all, we're all adults, and I don't care if you pick a song that cusses and says some cuss words and stuff like that. I'm not the morality police when it comes to stuff like that. However, I do want to warn you. I've had some students that will go into certain areas and they'll pick songs that are just pretty much like over 70% of the song is the F word or something like that. The problem is that slang is really kind of considered, cussing is kind of considered slang. And a lot of those words are kind of useless when it really comes to the power of the language. Like, for instance, I always say, like, if someone says, "Hey, what's up?" Okay, we got it. But if someone says, "Hey, what the F is up?" Do you really need the F word in that statement? You don't. It really doesn't do anything to it. It's useless. So if we're filling up our lyrics with useless words that don't have any power to them, that's just going to make it harder on you to write your paper. So I don't care if there's cussing in the song, but you need to be sure. I wouldn't go in there grabbing songs that are just full of full of language that doesn't either make sense or it's just useless. It doesn't work very good, and it doesn't matter what genre it is. Okay, because I'm telling you, I've read enough. You can find that in any genre. It doesn't matter. So just be aware of that. Okay. And the other thing when it comes to profanity is it doesn't have to be cussing. It could be like some things are sexually explicit, like even like Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. I mean, that is on a sexual level, but it's not explicit, okay? Because when it becomes too descriptive in certain ways, that can become gross, which I have heard many of those. It's a turnoff for the reader, and your reader's not going to be able to, find a lesson in that. So be aware of things that are too gross. I haven't had a student one time that wrote had a heavy metal song. He was going to write a heavy metal song, and the song was about, it wasn't just heavy metal, it was like death metal stuff. And he was writing, and it was about like kidnapping, torturing, and murdering people. And how horrible and the pain and agony and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so what's a lesson? It hurts. Got it. There's no lesson. There's nothing, there's no depth to the lyrics. It might be a great song musically and stuff. I don't know, I never heard it, but as far as the depth of the lyrics, it didn't work, okay? There wasn't enough to go in there. And, there was no lesson in it, okay? So please keep that in mind. If you're unsure, let me know. Ask me questions. I'll help you out as much as I can. Like I said, watch out for the songs you think are just cool because of certain reasons. It's all about what the lyrics are telling us. I had a student a few years ago found a song that had his name in it. And so he was absolutely resolved to write about that song. And I warned him over and over. I was like, man, I know this is cool because it's got your name in it, but man, I don't know what the lesson is. I can't find a lesson. And he was trying as hard as he could to pull a lesson from it. And at the end of the day, it ended up being a bomb because he just could not. He realized, wow, I picked this out because I thought it sounded cool. But you're right, there wasn't a lesson in there. So we kind of got burned with that. So please keep that in mind. The units, let's go over here. Over here for your week 4 discussion is going to help you with that. So week 4 discussion is for a Plan A, Plan B post. And it asks you 3 questions, all right? Don't forget, 10 sentences for each post. But it asks you 3 questions. You need to answer these 3 questions for each one of those songs, okay? So number 1, who is the song? What's the song title? Who's the artist? What's the topic? The topic is just the basic overall, subject of the song. No opinion involved. The theme video will help you with that. And then for number 3, what is the theme? Also, again, look at the theme handout, look at the theme video. Answer that for your first song, Plan A, then the next song, Plan B. And then your choice is going to be like, all right, which one do I feel like I have a good enough quality content for or good enough standing of an argument to look into writing a paper about? And one could be your go-to, and the other one can be your backup. And even then, you could even have a Plan C later if you need, okay? But anyway, that's your week 5 discussions. I have some videos in here. These 2 right here for basic argumentative writing, analytical writing. And then this video is important. It's over the theme, which is your handout right here as well, okay? These videos are connected to this handout, and this video is connected to that handout, okay? All right, y'all, that's what I have so far. Hope that helps you. Please get to it, and if you have any particular questions, please let me know immediately. Do not wait till the last minute. I'm starting to see that. People are waiting to the very last minute to ask me for help, and they are weeks behind when it comes to that. They're like 2-3 weeks late asking for the type of help they need, okay? So as soon as you identify a problem, please let me know, okay? All right, y'all, thank you. Have a good day.